Hi, welcome to the Bio 101 Lab. This is your instructor, Julia Nicholas, and in this video, we'll cover all of the things you need to know to get started with this course. So just for an overview, in this video, we will cover how to contact me, your instructor. We will cover what is the Bio 101 Lab, how to order your lab kit, how to check out a microscope for the lab, go over some frequently asked questions about the course, go over what to do first, and then I'll cover some info on getting around the Canvas site. This is a repeat for the lecture video, so there's no need to watch this again if you've already watched it, but I'll cover important dates for KCC for the term, go over a little bit of information from the course syllabus, overview assignments and grading, and how to succeed in an online course. So this is me, your instructor, Julia Nicholas. My email is juliamnicholas@faculty.klamathcc.edu. Please see the syllabus or the Contact Me extra credit link under modules for my phone number. The Bio 101 lab is the laboratory component that goes along with the Bio 101 lecture. And biology is the study of life. So in this course, we will be going through a series of labs designed to help you better understand and put into practice the topics from the Bio 101 lecture. You'll do all of your labs at home. You'll use supplies found in your lab kit. So when you order your lab kit, you should get a box from Carolina Biological. You will also need to check out a microscope. We'll go over how to do that in just a little bit. And you'll use all these supplies to do your labs entirely at home. There are the first couple weeks of lab, the first 2 weeks that we will use things that you can find around your house. And then starting in week 3 through week 10, you'll need your lab kit to do all the remainder of the labs. The lab is 10 weeks long. There's no final, hooray. So you get one less week for lab, which is nice. And you will complete 8 labs total. The other 2 weeks are checking out and returning your microscope. And then 2 of your labs out of those 8, you'll need to use the microscope. For the lab kit for the course, you can share a lab kit with another student who is currently taking the course if you plan to do the labs together. And the reason I say together is you can't reuse a lot of the labs. But if you have someone that you know you can reliably get together with every week and work on the labs together, then you are more than welcome to share your lab kit and your microscopes, save on those costs. And it's always nice to have a partner to kind of help talk about the labs as you get through them. When you go to order your lab kit, the website, just so you're aware of this, shows an instructor message, which isn't not actually my message, but it states that you can't share the kits. Please disregard this. You can share the kits. If you choose to share a kit, like I said, please make sure that you're sharing a kit with someone who you can do the lab with. So you can share the kits, you can do the labs together with someone, you will have the same data as the person that you share the lab kit, but when you go to complete your lab write-up or report, you should write this in your own words. So you can certainly talk about it, but when you're actually typing out your answers, do those in your own words, and essentially you'll submit certain parts of your lab. Like I said, your data will be exactly the same, but you won't both submit the same exact lab write-up or lab report because that part will be done in your own words. So there are 2 ways to order your lab kit. You can order it using a credit card if you have that option available to you. If you don't have a credit card or you need to use financial aid, you can get what's called a voucher through the bookstore and order it using your financial aid or cash that way. But I'm going to first go over how to use a credit card. And to use a credit card, you'll go to this site here. I'll put this site in the assignment also in Canvas. But you'll go to this website right here. It will pop up a screen that looks like this. And it does say that the name of the instructor is Catherine Dubois here. I was recently added as the instructor to this course and they haven't gotten certain things updated yet. So this is the correct kit for this course, even though the instructor name is different. And when I am trying currently to go to this website, it is not opening for me in Firefox for some reason, which usually tends to always work, but it is working in the Explorer website. So you may need to try a different browser if this, for some reason, you try to click on it and it won't open. Try a different browser and see if it'll open on that. But hopefully by the time you get to it, it will be working, but Just want to let you know that just in case. So the cost of your lab kit should come out to $134.95, I believe, with shipping. And the way that you'll order your kit once you get to the site is you'll click on Order Online Now. When you click on that, you will see this screen pop up here, and you can click to add this to your cart. Hopefully it should say in stock and available to ship. You'll click Add to your cart. This will pop up. You then will click Go to your cart. So click that, and then you'll see this price here. This is the price before shipping. You'll click Checkout here. And the next thing here that gets a little bit confusing is you'll need to go to New Customers and click that you're shipping to a home or business. So select this middle option here and then select Continue. So that's it for ordering with a credit card. That should get you your kit. Hopefully they'll give you a confirmation number, and you're going to need to go in under week 1 in your assignments and let me know that you got your kit ordered, and you'll need that voucher number and the date that you, or not voucher number, you'll need your order number and the date you ordered it. So the other way, like I mentioned, to order your lab kit is using financial aid, and you can either go to the bookstore online and do it online, or you can go to the bookstore in person, and you will say that your course you want to order the book for is Bio 101L, and they will give you can use your financial aid if you have that option available, or cash through the bookstore to get what's called a voucher. The voucher will just give you a code, and you will go to this website here, and you have to go to this website. You can't go to the website mentioned in the previous screen to use your voucher, but you'll go to this website here and enter in all of your information, enter in your voucher code from the bookstore, and then you should be ready to go through the ordering process for your kit. And again, if this website doesn't open for you in one of your browsers, you might try using a different browser. One other thing I'd like to mention for the course is there are 2 sections. There's section 1 and section 2. So there's quite a lot of you this term taking the Bio 101 lab, which is great, but we only at this point have enough microscopes for about half of you to get a microscope at one time. So if you are in section 1 for the lab, you should be able to see that on your schedule. You will be checking out a microscope during week 1. You'll be using, so checking out a microscope for section 1 during week 1. That's your main assignment for this week, is to check out your microscope. You'll be using it during weeks 3 to 4. And you'll be returning it on week 5 or sooner. Whenever you get your labs done, you can go and return that. And so weeks 1 and 5 for you will just be checking out and returning your microscopes and no other labs. Section 2 will be checking out their microscopes in week 1. Hopefully everyone from section 1 has returned those, so they're available for section 2. You'll be using your microscopes in weeks 7 and 8, and you'll be returning your microscope week 9 or whenever you're done. So you'll have weeks 6 and 9, you won't have an actual lab due, you'll just be checking out and returning your microscope. And each section, if you happen to have a friend in a different section and you're wanting to work on things together, section 1 and section 2, you both have the same labs, but they are due at different times to accommodate for the sharing of microscopes. So this shouldn't be a problem unless you're in section 1 sharing a lab kit with someone in section 2 or vice versa. So if that's the case, the person in section 2 needs to contact me and work on adjusting your assignment due dates to make sure that you can share with the person in section 1. So it's fine, but you're just going to have to do a little bit of adjusting on your due dates. Okay, next let's go over how to check out the microscope. So when it's your week to check out a microscope, week 1 for section 1, week 6 for section 2, you're going to go to modules, which is where you find all of your assignments for the course. And there is a quiz link there that looks like this. It says check out your microscope. This little rocket, I'm not sure why that's what they chose for the quiz icon, but rocket means a quiz, and this isn't actually a quiz, it's just a format that allows me to have you enter in data into this form. So you'll click on this link here. It says check out microscope. You'll do this when you are ready to check out your microscope. You'll start this process. So you'll click on this link here. You should see this quiz pop up. There's some instructions also at the top. You're going to need to open this form. So you need this form here. You'll open that up. If you are able to, you can fill that out online and print it out and sign it. If not, you can just print it out and fill the information out on paper and sign it. And you'll need to take this to the LRC on campus and to check out a microscope. What I would highly recommend doing before you do that is call Marcia Richmond at this number here and make sure that there are microscopes available. So I'd hate for you to go to all the trouble of getting your form filled out and trying to get down there and only to find out that there are no microscopes available at that time. So make sure there's microscopes available. And what you'll need to know to see if there's a microscope available for you is what version of Windows you have on your computer. So you'll either have Windows 2010 and that's a certain set of microscopes, or you'll have an earlier version before that, and that's a different set of microscopes. So you need to know what version of Windows you have, and then you can call and check and see if they have microscopes available for you. If they have microscopes available, you can go to the LRC, have them sign your form when you get your microscope, and then you'll need to scan or take a picture of that form and submit it in this quiz. So once you get your microscope, bring it back home with your form, you'll open this quiz up again. You will select choose a file, and you'll upload the same document but signed and dated and with all of the information. And again, you can either take a picture or scan it depending on what capabilities you have. Keep the form in a safe place. You'll need to return, when you return your microscope, you'll need that form so they know that you are returning the same microscope you checked out. And you also have to resubmit the form to me once you get it re-signed for your points for returning your microscope. It's 50 points assignment to check out your microscope and submit everything here, and it's 50 points to return your microscope. And there will be points off if you turn these things in late, so that's why you have that whole week dedicated to checking out and returning, so you can make sure you have time to get this assignment done and don't have anything else to worry about in lab that week. If you call to check out a microscope and there are no microscopes available for the microscope type that you need, make sure you get in contact with me as soon as possible, so we can work with you on when you can get a microscope and when you can get your labs done. So this is my first time doing the Bio 101 online and dealing with the microscope checkout. So we will just see how it goes as the term goes on, and let me know if you have questions or there are no microscopes. So on this form, you'll just fill out so I can keep track of it, what version of Windows you have, and then down here, the date that you checked out your microscope. It's not showing up on here, but there's a submit button at the bottom of this quiz, and you'll hit submit once you have done all of these steps here. So don't hit submit when you first open this up and just look at this form. Hit submit once you are done with everything. If you accidentally hit submit, you can go back in and redo it, and that's fine. But you don't need to submit it until you have your microscope at home in your hand with your signed form, and then you can do all of these 3 questions, and that will give you your 50 points. This is what the form looks like. It's pretty simple. You're going to read everything, make sure that you understand what the form, what things you need to know about the microscope, the cost, and if you break it or lose something, it has all that information on there. So, and I forgot to mention earlier, if you live out of town, then there's a $25 shipping fee if you're not able to pick up the microscope in person. And you can take that from your financial aid or pay that charge yourself if you aren't using financial aid. So that is an option if you don't live close enough to come pick up one, or are not able to for some reason, that you can get the microscope shipped to you. So let's go over next. We've kind of gone through all the information on what you need to know for the basics of how the lab is set up and what you'll need for the lab. In this slide here, I'll go over how to actually get started. So in the course, once you've selected the Bio 101 lab, you'll notice these links on the left. You won't have the grayed out links here. You'll have all these in black here, but modules is the main area that you'll go to look at all of your assignments every week. And the weeks are broken down weeks 1 through 10, and under each week is a list of all the things you need to know and do for the week. So every week I will try to post an overview of what's going on for the week and sort of my message to you for the week if there's anything I think you should know. And then there's a list of your assignments. So the first thing that you want to do for this course is get the syllabus quiz done. If you're in the lecture as well, you've taken the same quiz in the lecture, you can resubmit the same answers here. This establishes your attendance in the course, and if you don't get that syllabus quiz submitted by Friday of this week, then you'll be dropped for non-attendance for the course. So it's really important to get that done first. The rest of the assignments here, you should only, if you're in section 1, you should only see the assignments that pertain to section 1, these two. If you're in section 2, you'll just see the assignments pertaining to section 2. But section 1 will be checking out your microscope and ordering your lab kit this week. Section 2 will be ordering your lab kit and doing the week 1 lab on the scientific method. It's a pretty simple lab. Hopefully won't take you more than an hour, and you'll need 2 eggs and the ability to boil water in a hard-boiled egg for the lab. If that's a problem for some reason, let me know, but you won't need any other supplies from your lab kit. And then the final thing for this week, if you would like to, is contact me for extra credit. There's information in there on my contact information, and that's optional, but I think it's a great way to start off the course by, if you're choosing to send me a text message, you have my phone number in your phone, and whenever you get stuck on an assignment and need help, you've got my number in your phone and you're ready to use it. So that's the point of that extra credit there. So as I mentioned earlier, you won't need your lab kit until week 3, but it's really important to get it ordered this week because it can take a couple weeks to get to you, and that way you'll have it ready for you in week 3. So if you are a lab student only, then please continue watching the rest of the video. I'll go over a couple other things about getting around Canvas just to make sure that you know all that information. If you are in the lecture as well, then the remainder of the video is something you already watched in the lecture video, so you don't need to watch the remainder of the video. Here is the academic calendar for KCC, and I'd just like to go over a couple important dates for winter term. So this is a good calendar to look at if you're wondering about terms for registration, drop dates, withdrawal dates. A couple that I think are most relevant to winter term here, which is this column here, is the last day to drop a class for a full refund, and the last day to add a class is January 11th, which is a Friday, and the last day to withdraw with a W in the class is Friday, March 1st. We have our final exams here on this week, March 18th through the 22nd, and the last day of the term is technically March 22nd, but if you look at the due dates in the course, your final is actually due on March 21st. So those are the main dates for this course to keep in mind, and don't forget when you, in February, Monday 11th, you can start registration for spring term. So that's another important date to keep in mind coming up here in just about another month. Let's next go over where to go to get started with the course, and that is a site called Canvas. And Canvas is the site where all of your course information is located. It's where you'll go to find and submit all of your assignments, view your lectures, take your tests, and view your grades and email. And that is at a site called klamathcc.instructure.com. Once you have it in your web address here, either bookmark that or your web address will probably keep it there for you, but you'll be going to that site a lot throughout the term, so that's a good one to have handy. Your username that you will enter goes right here, and that is your, I believe it's a 6-digit student ID number, and then you'll have a password that you should have for that. And this is the same username and password for all your courses. Once you enter those in, you'll click log in. It should take you to a screen like this when you log in. This is your dashboard, and it will show you icons for all of your classes. It also has on the left here, you can see usually takes you first to the dashboard. You can click on courses, and that will show you a list of your courses in more of a list format. And there's a calendar feature, an inbox feature, and we'll go over all those in just a little bit. The main thing from your dashboard when you log in there that's nice to keep track of is it has this little microphone icon or megaphone icon, and that means that you have a new announcement for the course. So if you see this icon here, click on that icon. It will take you to any new announcements for the course, and that would be the case with any of your courses. And that's just a note from your instructor letting you know something important about the course. So here's the calendar, and if you click, this is on the very left on the red links, if you click the calendar button here, it takes you out of the course and takes you to a calendar where you can view assignments for any of your online courses. If you were to click on these buttons here, it would make the assignments for that course show up on your calendar. If you unclick them, it will make those assignments go away from your calendar. So you can choose to only look at assignments for a certain course or to look at assignments for all of your course. So it's your choice on what you want to view on the calendar. If you click on this arrow here, it will take you to the next month, so you can scan through any of the months and all the assignments you have due. If you, from this point, want to go back to the class, you could hit the back arrow button to get back to the course, but the other way would be to click on the dashboard or courses link and reselect the course. Below the calendar button is the inbox link, and when you click on that, you'll go to the email system through Canvas, and this section here would be a list of any emails that you have sent or received. And this feather button here, actually this will just show you, you can choose to select if you want to see your inbox or your sent box, and that would show up here. If you want to compose a new email, you would click this feather button here, and you could choose to send an email to any one of your instructors that are using Canvas. For this course, email, of course, is just fine. I tend to check the email system about once a day, so depending on when you send the email to me, you may not get a reply for a day or two later. I will try to get to those as soon as possible, but it tends to take a day or two for me to see and reply to your email. If you are wanting a fast reply, you're working on an assignment and have a question you would like to get answered quickly, text messages are the fastest and easiest way to get a hold of me. And I'll go over a little bit later where to find my phone number to send me text messages. If you can't do that, of course, emails are just fine. It is quicker to send text messages if you are able to do that. When you're ready to go to one of your courses, you can click on the dashboard link here again. Click on the course that you want to go into. So if you want to go into biology, you'll click on the biology link here, and note there are different links for lecture and lab, so make sure you're going to the section that you're wanting to do work for. If you click on that, it will take you into a screen that looks like this, and you'll notice there are still these same features here on the very left, but on the left side next to that, there's another menu that comes up now, and these are all functions within the biology course or within whatever course you're in. And so you start out here when you log in, going to the home page that your instructor has selected, and you can also click on any of these features here. So there's announcements, where any announcements for the course will be located. You click here to see the course syllabus. Modules has a breakdown of what you'll be doing every week, so that's the main place that you're going to go to get all of your assignments, see what's due for the week, discussions, tests, all that will be found under this modules link here. There is also an assignments link, and that will give you a breakdown by date of things that are due in the course. It's kind of a handy feature. If you just need to look at what's due, I would make sure that in general you're going to modules because it does have important information there. But if you're just wanting a quick look at what and things are due and when, assignments is a useful feature for that. Grades will have a list of every assignment in the course and what your grade on that assignment is if you've submitted that assignment and it has been graded. There's a chat feature if you're wanting to chat with someone in the course and you plan out a time to meet. You can go into the chat feature and use that to chat with someone. Google Drive might be useful in your courses if you need to select. If you need to attach large files, you can do that through Google Drive. And there's also a link to the Learning Resource Center and a link to a tutoring site and a link for the course evaluation, which you'll be doing towards the end of the term if you would like to. So that's sort of the main breakdown for the different links that are available within the course. And next we'll go into the modules and take a look at what that looks like. Under the modules link, there's this assignments link. And as I mentioned earlier, modules really has all of the information that you need to know to go about your week, all your assignments and objectives and information from me on the week. If you're looking, however, for a quick breakdown of everything that's due and when, I know that's sometimes nice to just have a list of everything you need to do and make sure you've checked everything off the list. You can click on this assignments button here and it gives you a list of everything due for the course, and then this due date shows what module it's found in and when it's due and how many points it's worth. You can sort these assignments by date, or you can sort them by type of assignment. So it would, for example, put all your discussions together, all your tests together. So whatever way is more convenient for you, you can do that. And that gives you a good overview of everything that you have due for the course. The next link down below assignments is grades. And when you click on this link here, you can see a list of all of your different assignments, their due date, and then this column here would be your score out of how many points. So for example, if you got 10 out of 10, it would say a 10 right here. If you got 9 out of 10 points, it would show a 9 right here. If you go down to the very bottom, it shows your total for the course, and so it will have your total score for the course down here. It allows you to sort by due date or by type of assignment, and so you can sort your assignments differently if you'd like to sort them that way. There is a feature here to calculate. If you unclick this here where it says calculate based on graded assignments, it says you can view your grades based on what if scores so that you know how your grade will be affected by upcoming assignments. So for example, if you want to put in a 0 for assignment and see what would happen to my overall score if I got a 0 on this assignment, I believe you can do that there. So that's your grade section. Make sure that you check that frequently. Our grading for the course is standard 90 to 100% an A, 80 to 89% is a B, 70 to 79% is a C, etc. And remember that if you're in the lecture and lab section, you'll receive a separate lecture and lab grade, so make sure you check your grade in each of those sections. A little bit more on grades. My goal is to grade assignments within a week of the due date. So if you have an assignment that you turn in, let's say a week 1 assignment, then everybody should have that turned in by the end of week 1. So by the end of week 2, I hope to have that assignment graded. If there's an assignment that hasn't been graded yet and you really like to know how you did, because maybe you're getting ready to start on another assignment and you want to make sure you're doing things right, then let me know and I will try to grade your assignment sooner if you need that graded sooner. So just let me know if you're waiting on a grade and it's important to get that back more quickly. And you'll receive a separate lecture and lab grade, so make sure that you check your grades in both sections if you're in both sections often. And I'd really like to have all your grades be perfect, but errors do happen. If you see something that doesn't look right, don't panic. Let me know as soon as possible, and we will work on getting your grades fixed. Let's cover next how to get in contact with me. So as I mentioned earlier, you can send me emails through Canvas and I will try to check my email at least once a day. If you're working on an assignment and need help more quickly, the fastest way to get in touch with me and get your questions answered is with a text message. And students will often ask what time is appropriate to send texts, and I generally have my phone on me between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. and don't feel bad about sending a text. That's what I'm here for, and I'm happy to help. So anytime you need help, definitely feel free to send a text or email if that's easier for you. My phone number is located in the syllabus, or if you go under modules in the course, go to week 1. There's a week 1 extra credit link right here. And this is an optional assignment, but you can click on that one to get my phone number if you need that. And if you'd like the extra credit for that, send me a text or email during this first week and let me know your name and your course number and section, and then click on that week 1 extra credit. That is an assignment you can submit saying that you contacted me and by what method, and then you'll receive 10 extra credit points for submitting that week 1 extra credit assignment.
So last up here are my tips for how to succeed in an online course. And the first thing that I would recommend at this point in the course is to start the quarter right. So in this course and any of your other courses, go into the course, check out the syllabus, check out all the assignments that you'll need to be doing, get your textbook, your lab supplies, any other things you need for your courses to get started so that right from the beginning you're ready to do your assignments and you know what you need to do so you don't get behind in this first week. Next would be reviewing the calendar each week. This helps you keep track of what you need to do, make sure that you're not missing an assignment for any of your courses. And by reviewing the calendar each week, kind of keeps you focused on making sure you're working on the assignments that you need to work on and looking ahead to what's going to be coming up. Next, I'd say make sure that you have a dedicated place and time to do your work. There are certain all of us have different situations, but there are definitely situations when you have distracting noises, other family members that make it hard to get work done. So if it's possible to do your work in the place where you can best focus and at a time when you are best able to focus on getting your work done. For myself, if I try to work with my kids around, I'm really unproductive. If I can get a few minutes to sneak away, I can get done in a few minutes what might have taken me an hour to do with all the chaos around me. So if it's possible to find that quieter place to work, that can really help be a time saver for you. Next is achieving a family, work, school, depending on what's going on in your life, balance. And by this, I mean we all have different commitments that we need to meet, and it's not realistic to expect that school will be our only priority, especially on the online world, but we do have to work on trying to balance school with the other things that we need to do. So try to plan out as you look for ahead to the quarter, planning when you're going to get your schoolwork done, when you're going to spend the time you need to with work or with family, and just juggling your schedules and trying to come up with a realistic plan of getting everything done that you need to get done, and not thinking that you're going to get all your schoolwork done for 3, 4, 5 classes in an hour once a week. So being realistic with your time for all of your different commitments. One of the other really big things to being successful is just staying on schedule. So if you have certain things you need to get done for the week, making sure you get those things done. When you get behind, it gets really hard to catch up because you have the current week's work and then past work that's due, and it can become really overwhelming. So if it's possible, try each week to get the assignments done that need to get done and not let them start piling up on you. Next, I'd say, excuse me, stay motivated. So there comes a certain point, I know for myself in the quarter, when I get really burned out and it's hard to keep moving forward with everything I need to get done. And I know when I was a student, it was the same way. Different people, I think, find that at different times that they can really push through and get things done, and other times in the quarter are really hard to stay focused. So whenever that happens, that you're feeling like it's hard to keep up on what you need to get done, remind yourself it's only a certain number of weeks. Try to make a plan of what you're going to get done each week to finish off the course, and try to keep up that motivation. Know that it won't be forever, and you will be done with course and with school before you know it. So just keeping up that motivation throughout the quarter. Next, I'd say participate. So if you get engaged in the class, you participate in discussions, ask questions, get help when you need to. It really all does make the course easier. Talking with other students about questions, about difficulties, and as I mentioned, getting help when you need help just makes the course much easier than trying to struggle through it by yourself if you're struggling on something. Next, look for study partners. So if there's anyone in the course that wants to work together with you on an assignment, and you can work together and help each other out, that would be great. When you submit your assignments, what I'm looking for on my end is that you do the write-ups on your own, but you can certainly, if you have someone you want to do labs with or any other activities with, you can do the activities together. So you could have the same data, for example, for a lab, but then write up the questions to the lab questions in your own words, each of you, so don't each turn in the same assignment. And my last tip would be is if there's a week when you are able to work ahead in any of your courses, try to do that. So try to work ahead a little bit, and that way it'll lessen up the load and the pressure later on in a week when maybe you have a lot going on. So if you're able to work ahead, feel free, at least in this course, to do that. It's whatever's available, you're welcome to work ahead on. And so those are my tips. And as I think I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest things is just if you're struggling on something, don't sit and just struggle. If you're spending more than 10 minutes or so trying to figure something out, please feel free to send me an email or text message and ask for help, and probably can get you that help quickly so you're not sitting trying to figure something out on your own for hours and hours. So ask for help whenever you need it. I am more than happy to help. That's the end of our getting started with the course tutorial. So good luck in the course, and please don't hesitate to contact me at any time with any questions as you get started.